17th of May, Rabbi Moore, Parsha Hashavua, Bamidbar.
So we got up to we were in the Rashi Mineged on Pasuk, the end of Pasuk base.
Mineged, at a distance. Merachok, mil, a distance of a mil. Kamo shene'emar b'Yehoshua, like it says in the book of Yehoshua, Ach rachok yeh beinechem uveinav ki al payim amah. So, but
However,
it should be distant between you and it,
meaning the Mishkan.
That's interesting. My English says the ark.
Oh yeah, okay, fine. It's the same thing. It's going on the that's the Oren.
Right.
That was where the Mishkan was, basically.
About 2,000 amos.
Which is a mil. That is a mil.
Right.
Okay. Sheyuchlu lovay b'Shabbos, in order that the Klal Yisrael could come on Shabbos to the Mishkan. Okay.
Moshe v'Aaron uvanav. I'm sorry. V'im konim b'samuch lo. Moshe and Aaron's sons and the Levites would encamp next to the tabernacle.
Yeah. Now, I want to show you something which l'chayra, most picture books or pictures of the encampment of the Jewish people, there seems to be like a slight inaccuracy. And I'll explain what I mean. Most of them have it pictured as follows. I don't know if I actually have it one in this Chumash. Say, could you just 1 second? Yeah. Okay, yeah, I'll take this as an example. Then if you can see it clearly, okay? So it looks like 4 formations of 3 tribes encamped around in the middle was the Mishkan and the Leviim around. But if you notice in the middle, it's like a large square.
Looks like a rectangle.
Or in the middle actually should be a square, because all the things around it. Well, this is exactly the point. It's not really a rectangle, it's a square. It should be a square. But I'll show you maybe a little bit better by using the example. I made a diagram like this, if you can see it clearly.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, now, the point is as follows. The Gemara says elsewhere that the whole encampment of the Jewish people was 12 12 mil by 12 mil, meaning this distance was 12 mil, this distance was 12 mil, this distance was 12 mil, which means that if you divide that by 9 squares, that means each square, okay, was 4 mil by 4 mil. Or should we say this out? Let's take it. This outside square was 4 mil by 4 mil, and so is this. And l'chayra over here, if you take this as a square, this was 4 mil by 4 mil. But then you'd have a problem over here, which means that this, if this was a square in the middle, not like I've drawn it, you have 4 mil by 4 mil in the middle, right? That means the central point would be 2 mil distant from each group of 3 shvatim. Means from here to here would be 2 mil. From here to here would be 2 mil. From here to here would be 2 mil. And from here to here would also be 2 mil. And Rashi says it was only 1 mil. So that, therefore, that's why I pointed out that where I did the diagram is that the tribes, when they encamped, it was not just up to this point, as shown in the other picture, which I showed you before, but they encroached further inwards so that the end point was 1 mil away from the middle, from the Mishkan. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, so that was, it wasn't in the middle, it was not a large square. It became, each tribe moved in like this, and that they ended up as a smaller square in the middle. Are you with me?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, that's one point. Afterwards, I'm going to make another point, is that also the way the picture is shown, that each tribe had an equal area where they encamped. But this I want to point out afterwards, we see from the Psukim that this was not so. It was according to the size of the camp of the tribe, that's the size of the area they encamped. Okay. Let's continue. Okay, let's go up to the next pasuk now. Meah.
Okay. Pasuk Gimel, let's see. In chapter 2?
Chapter 2, pasuk 3.
Okay, very good.
What, Percy?
Pasuk 3.
Okay, so it says, the Hachonim Kedma Mizracha Degel Machane Yehuda L'tzivotam Nasi Livnei Yehuda Nachshon ben Aminadav. Okay, so those that camped Kedma in front of the east.
Forward. Now, so Rashi's going to point out. Kedma means forward.
Oh.
Forward position. Kedma to the east. Mizracha to the east.
Okay, to the east. Let's see. Degel. What, the flag of their camp?
Yeah.
Of Yehuda. Okay, according to the armies.
According to their groups.
Groups.
There's some of these groups in this sense.
Okay. Nasi Livnei Yehuda, and the prince of the children of Yehuda is Nachshon ben Aminadav. Okay, Nachshon ben Aminadav.
Okay.
Okay, so Rashi on Kedma. Okay, Lefanav Hakruyim.
The fanim, the right to the face, to the side.
The face, Hakruyim is called Kedem.
Right, which is called Kedem, which is to the yeah.
So
Okay,
Kedem is like up
forward,
front.
the forward side, which is called east.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. Zo, and which is this? Ruach Mizrachit.
which is the east side.
Oh, the east side. I never knew Ruach meant side. Wow. Okay. The Hamarav Karoi Achor. Okay, so the west then is called the back, I guess.
Yeah, behind.
Behind.
Okay, so forward and behind. So forward is to the east, behind is to the west.
Okay, so it's called behind. Okay, forward and behind. Okay. Let's see what else. Oh, I guess
Okay,
that's it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now we've got a whole bunch of psukim over here, which I think we will skip. There's only one important point which I wanted to point out. And this is what I'm also referring to my diagram, how they encamped. There's a question which has bothered me for many years. The Torah goes through. Pasuk Dalet tells you how many were the tribe of Yehuda. Okay, Pasuk Vav tells you how many was the tribe of Yisachar. And Zvulun, and then in Pasuk Ches, it tells you how many were the tribe of Zvulun. And then Pasuk Tes makes a calculation, and he says, Kol ha'pekudim leMachane Yehuda, all the counted ones of Machane Yehuda, right? Actually, Lou, you want to read the Pasuk? Read Pasuk Tes, because there's a Rashi on there.
Okay. Kol excuse me, hapekudim leMachane Yehuda may as elef ushmonim elef v'sheshes alafim v'arba me'os l'tziv osam rishona yisa'u. So the translation is all the counted ones for the camp of Yehuda, 100 and
180,000
and 80,000 and
6,000.
6,000 and 400 according to the heads. What is Yisa'u? They travel?
Right.
Now my
Right. They so the Lord
their
they shall travel the first. Should be the first ones to travel.
My English says that according to their armies.
Yeah, but it's not that. As I mentioned this before a number of times, it means groups. Okay.
Right.
Now the point is, there's one major question which I've made is the Torah needs to make simple arithmetic calculations for us. What's the point of the Torah telling us, all three together came out to 186,400? Well, obviously I can calculate the Torah told us in Pasuk in Pasuk 4 Pasuk told us how many was the tribe of Yehuda, right? 74,600. Pasuk 6 told us how much was in the tribe of Yisachar was 54,400, and Pasuk Ches told us how many were the tribe of Zvulun? 57,400. So what's the whole point of Torah telling us how they tell you altogether was 186,000. The Chayes said, "I'm a Pashut." So what I wanted to say was as follows. Again, by Torah telling us altogether that all the three tribes together were 186,000, so the whole area of the, let's call it the square, or a bit more than the square, the whole area of the encampment of the what's called Machane Yehuda, which really means the encampment of Yehuda, which consists of three tribes, was not divided equally into three. It was divided it was divided into 186,400 sections, of which each person got a portion. How did it be divided equally into three? Right, that means that those members of Yehuda would have got a much smaller portion than the people of Yisachar and the people of Zvulun. And now that you calculate all three together and then divide them into separate encampments, that means Yehuda got a larger section of an encampment than Zvulun and Yisachar respectively. Okay, you understand what I'm saying?
Each person got the same amount, so that the size.
Yehuda, as it came out, as I go back to my diagram, I don't know if you can see it clearly the way I drew it. Maybe you can. But you see, Yehuda has a larger section than Yisachar and Zvulun. And that's why the Torah tells us, that's the significance of the Torah telling us the number of all three together. Because that was really the deciding factor, the deciding number of how that section of the encampment was divided up.
But that's not also true for between sections.
What do you mean?
Well, if the three tribes, the three tribes in this section got a certain amount of space.
Right.
The tribes in the next section got the same exact amount of space, but they may have had more.
Right, that's true. Then the comes out that the people of the, let's say we're going to have the tribe of Ephraim only had 108,000. So they got similar, how should we say, commiserately, but they got a larger section for each person than the tribe of Yehuda. I mean, the encampment of Yehuda.
Right. Right. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah, you're right. That is true. Yeah. Okay. Fine. Let's go weiter. Pasuk. It says there's a Rashi here. So Rashi's going to hear. This is a very important Rashi here.
Rishona Yisau. They will be first to journey. Kesheroin Ha'anan Mistalek. When they would see the cloud rise up, Tokin HaKohanim B'chatzos Ros. The Kohanim would blow the trumpets. V'nosea Machane Yehuda Techila. And the camp of Yehuda would start first. Ukesheholchin, and when they would travel, holchin kederech haniyasan, they would travel in the way of their encamping.
The encampment, right? Meaning that they traveled as there's actually a machlokes in the Gemara, but the Rashi seems to follow the opinion that they traveled as they encamped. It means in encampment formation, so they traveled.
Halaviim v'ha'galos be'emtza, the Levites and the wagons in the middle. Degol Yehuda be'mizrach, the flag of Yehuda was in the east. So now it makes more sense to say that it's not flag, it's division.
Yeah, according to this, I think, but I still haven't got a source where he gets it from, this opinion that Rashi means division.
Well, it has to mean a group of people in this context, right?
Yes, it could be. It could also mean a flag, meaning the standard, the whole.
Just the flag goes next, and no people go with it.
I understand, but that means but that's a way of representing the whole camp together. Is it called a degel? Okay, I don't see one way or another. But anyway, I am curious to know where his source is for.
Well, according to my English, it's not. It's just the group of Yehuda, which was 3 tribes.
I understand the word degel. He's explaining according to Rashi. The word degel means a grouping.
Right. I'm saying you have to read it that way. You can't read it as a flag in this context.
Why not?
Because it's referring to a group of people. It's not referring to just a flag.
Yeah, but I'm saying the flag is like the representation of the whole section. Let me see how I translated it. Just 1 second. Yeah, okay.
Okay, Vishel Reuven Bidarom, and that of Reuven on the south, Vishel Ephraim B'Ma'arav, and that of Ephraim on the west, Vishel Dan B'Tzafon, and that of Dan on the north.
Yeah.
That's the end of 9. Now we skip to 17.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. Let's skip now to Pasuk 17. Okay. Now we just did just to fill in what the in between psukim we're talking about. From basically till Pasuk Tes describes the encampment of Yehuda, which consisted of 3 tribes: Yehuda, Yisachar, and Zvulun. Then from Pasuk Yud to Pasuk Tes Zayin describes the encampment of Ruvain, which was to the south, and the encampment of Ruvain was made up of 3 tribes: Ruvain, Shimon, and Gad. Okay?
Right?
Fine. Now, next, in the Pasuk Yud Zayin, there.
Okay. Yud Zayin. It says, V'nasa ohel moed machaneh haleviim b'toch hamachanot kasher yachanu kain yisa'u ish al yado Diglehem. Okay, so let's see. The Moed, the Ohel Moed, okay. Traveled. No, yeah, Nasa, yeah, traveled. Okay. The Machaneh, what with the Levim in the B'toch HaMachanot, within the divisions there, the camps.
Right. Within in the midst of the camps.
In the midst of the camps, okay. So Kashichanu, so when they camped, they would journey, each one ayado with ayado. It's like on his hand, literally.
Yeah, literally, ish al yodoi. The Rashi is going to explain what that means. Each person
Okay.
in his required position.
Oh, okay. Okay, so Rashi, V'nasao Hel Moed. For the tent of meeting, journey, traveled. Achar Shnei Digalim Halalu. After two groupings.
Of the two of the aforementioned two either groupings or flags,
Okay.
groupings according to
Digalim
flags.
Okay. Kasher Yachanu Kain Yisa'u. And so they camped as they
camped,
traveled.
so they traveled.
Okay. Gemo Perashti, so I explained, Halichatan Bechaniatan.
Kechaniatan.
Okay, Chaniatan. So they traveled like they encamped, I guess. Okay, Kol Degel Machalech LaRuach Akavua Lo. Each flag, okay. Mahalek traveled LaRuach
in the direction, meaning on the side, which was fixed for it.
Which was fixed for it.
I mean, so Yehuda traveled on the east side, and Reuven, the encampment of Reuven traveled on the south side, and the encampment of Ephraim traveled on the west side, and the encampment of Dan traveled on the north side.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Okay.
It says, Ish al yodo, each man literally by his hand.
Okay. You don't. Al Mikomo, in his place. The Ein Lashon Yad Zaz Mimashma'o. What's this? The Ein Lashon Yad. What, there's no translation for Yad?
No. What he means is as follows.
Oh.
Rashi explains first of all, Ayodo means al makoma, each man in his position, in his place. However, Rashi says, Ein Lashon Yad Zaz Mimashmo. However, you can understand the word Yad not, how should we say, diverting from its literal meaning.
Oh.
Ruach shel tzidoi koru al yodo. Means the direction of its side is called al yodoi.
Oh, okay.
As we say, 1 second. Does not veer from its literal meaning, but the direction of a person's hand is of a person's side is next to his hand, close to him for anything within his reach.
Oh, okay.
En son aise.
That's French.
Right. At his side. Okay,
Okay, thank you.
okay. So I have time for one more pasuk, Lou.
So what, we're jumping to 17?
Oh, we jumped already. We just did that. We have to jump to pasuk
20.
20.
20. Okay. 20, 20. Va'alav, Matei Menashe, Nasi, Livnei Menashe, Gam Liel ben Pedatsur.
Okay.
And the next to him.
Oh, so we're going to see, this is exactly the point. So the reason why Rashi is going to point out over here that meaning Allah means next to the tribe of Ephraim was the tribe of Menashe. Right? Now,
it should mean
you shouldn't think was Allah means in charge of him was the tribe of Menashe. Because Allah can mean above him, meaning over him and in charge of him.
Right.
Rashi is saying no. In this context, it means Allah means, this is what Rashi says, Ketargumoi, udesmichin Elohim. Right? Those next to him. Okay? So that's what Rashi, because if you look in the other psukim where we have, let's see, give me here. You go to Pasuk Hey in this chapter. You've got first it mentions the tribe of Yehuda. V'hachonim olav matei Yisachar. Those who encamped literally upon him. So there obviously olav means next to him. Okay? But here Rashi points out especially because it doesn't say v'hachonim olav. Okay? It just says va'olav, which means could be misconstrued as meaning upon him, meaning in charge of him. The tribe of Menashe was in charge of the tribe of Ephraim. So Rashi says, no, that's not the meaning. The meaning is, as the Targum translates it, those who were next to him were the tribe of Menashe. Meaning, so therefore, Olav over here has the same meaning as in Pasuk Hey, and similarly in Pasuk Yud Beis, also has a similar meaning. Right. And we're also going to have in Pasuk Chav Zay. Why the Torah doesn't say V'hachonim olav matei Menashe, I don't know. Why the Torah uses a different expression, I don't know. Okay? So I think we'll stop here. Be'ezrat Hashem, we'll start part chapter 3, Gimel, tomorrow. We'll start from Ravi. Okay?
Thank you, Rabbi.
Okay, have a great day, everybody. Be well.
Okay, be well.
Bye-bye.
Colton.
Bye now. Take care, Yechiel.